Hello everyone, this is Dan with Train Control Systems. We wanted to make a short video here demonstrating something that we were really excited about. In front of me right here we have a Broadway Limited T1 210-4. This one was sent in by a customer, and we were really excited to share a little bit about the installation process behind this one. We'll put a link to the installation for this locomotive in the video's description, which you can check out and see exactly what we did to it. If you have one of these locomotives, you'll probably want to follow along with what we got here because it sounds really nice. So what we did with this engine is the original Broadway Limited engine had two speakers in the tender. They were 32 millimeters, and there were two of them. They were wired in parallel. What we actually did was we put a single 32 millimeter speaker in here and left the other hole where the original speaker was open. And what this does is it creates a sort of phase shift off the speaker, and the tender itself is acting like a speaker enclosure. And so when you have the speaker producing sound, some of that gets reflected back up into the tender, and because we left the port open on the bottom, it's coming out slightly out of phase of what's coming out of the other speaker. And this sets up a really good dynamic sound. It's got a lot of resonance to it. Sounds really good. So what we're actually going to do for you here is I'll play a quill for you. We'll run through a couple of whistles and a couple of the other sounds, and you can tell us what you think down in the comments. All right, let's wind up the dynamo. And how about we get a couple chops in there too? How about we try with a different whistle?
Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe reproduction 6 chime.
You can definitely hear that resonance in there. So we're going to pop this off the track and show you what we've done on the inside. Alright, so here we have the tender of the engine taken apart. Took the shell off. Here you can see the BMB4 we used along with the WOW121 steam decoder. We actually managed to make use of the original harness that BLI had used with the Paragon decoder, which was in here, and just attached it to the multiple connections here on the motherboard. And off of this speaker connection we just ran the single 32 millimeter speaker, which you can see here, and we left the other speaker port open. And like I said, what this does is the sound, once it's reflected back up this way, because the cone moves in both directions, it fills up the inside of the tender shell and then reflects back down out of this hole. So if you're someone who has a Broadway Limited locomotive like this one, this installation practice may work very well for you as well.